Hey Star, are you ready?
I'm a lady.
And welcome to Idol Days, the show about idol animes. I'm Sarah.
And I'm Star.
And the summer of Love Live is over.
We have defeated the summer of Love Live. I feel like that little kid in what's the movie who like holds up the frog and is like, the evil is defeated.
Cabin in the Woods, yes.
Cabin in the Woods, that's what it is. That's me. That's me holding up Love Live and I'm like, we've done it.
You beat it.
Love Live is not bad, but we're done.
So now, before we delve into Cursed October, we have like a little snack, like a little happy light snack.
Just a happy little bag of Fritos. We're talking about IDOLiSH7 Vibrato today.
Ooh.
A triumphant return to our boys.
So Star, what is vibrato for people who don't know?
Vibrato is when you're singing and you make your voice go
Not
up and down
that
really fast.
one, Star. Nyuk, nyuk, nyuk.
Nyuk, nyuk, nyuk. But yeah, so we've covered original IDOLiSH7, and if you have not listened to that episode, you should, because we are probably going to repeat some jokes. But IDOLiSH7, the original anime, was 17 episodes of very good boys doing very good boy activities. And then, as a quote-unquote YouTube original, they made 8 quote-unquote new episodes that kind of act as like filling out a couple of things. It's sort of a prequel, but also sort of a sequel depending on the episode. It's just like a little bitty bonus snack between the first and second season, basically. Yes, and it wraps up a couple of story arcs that the first season didn't get to.
Yes, they're OVAs, so separate
basically,
episodes.
Yeah. So it's technically 8 episodes, but the episodes are like each about 10 minutes long, so each one usually is a first half or a second half. So if this were an actual full-length 20-minute anime, it would be 4 episodes long, but they separated it into 8 parts.
Yes.
It was a very quick watch, a delightful snack. My skin is clear, my crops are watered. I love these boys so much,
I love
Sarah.
all 10 of my sons so much.
I love my 10 sons
I love my
so
10
much.
Sons.
You messaged me that on Facebook the day you finished watching this, and it made me laugh extremely hard.
I love all of my sons. I just want to protect them and watch them grow. They're so good.
So, a cool thing about this series is that it gives Trigger, the rival boys, a little bit more of a spotlight. And Sarah, something has happened.
What happened, Star?
There has been a shift in the paradigm.
Oh, paradigm shift? What's going on?
Paradigm of Starla has a new favorite.
Who?
Would you like to take a guess before I say it?
New favorite. Well, okay, I'm trying to think of the meme characters that might have shown up, like, Airplane Man.
Listen, Airplane Man is always going to be number 1 in my heart.
Okay, so it's not a meme character.
It's not a meme character.
Is it, I mean, Ryu was already your favorite, unless it's not.
Well, okay, so in the last episode I said Yamato was my favorite.
Oh, now it's Ryu.
He's so good, Sarah.
I figured.
He's a good boy. Yamato is still my favorite I7 boy because he named his Roomba, and I'm very fond of that energy. But Ryunosuke walked onto the screen like, "Hi, I'm awkward," and I'm like, "Oh my god, I love you."
Yeah. So why don't we get into it? The first episode, because this is the Trigger one.
Absolutely. Yes. So the first 2 episodes are Trigger focused, and I love them.
Yeah.
So Sarah, tell us what happens in episode 1.
So 3 idols walk into a bar.
And that's actually what happens.
That's exactly what happens. And
I love that, actually.
3 idols walk into a bar and they have a flashback. So Trigger is hanging out in like this secret underground bar area. There's nobody else there. It's closed. And they're all there and they're chilling and it's like winter and they're reminiscing about like, oh, remember back when we first started?
And then we go into a flashback of the day that they started Trigger for reals.
For reals. And Star, you can lead in here because your boy shows up.
Because my boy shows up. So basically we start with Ryu, who is sitting in a snowy Tokyo. It's like winter, and he's just like sitting there, and he's talking on the phone, I think, and you hear that he has a very thick Okinawan accent. And he's waiting for a talent manager to come pick him up. He's like, can I really be an idol? I don't know. So you guess he was probably, like, scouted or something.
Mm-hmm.
But then Gaku walks up.
Yeah, and Ryu blushes.
Yup, he's like, oh, he's pretty.
Too pretty.
Listen, Ryu's in love with all the Trigger
Ryu
boys, and I'm
loves
okay with
all
that.
of them.
He loves
So
his
good.
friends so much.
He loves them.
But yeah, and then Gaku's like, hey, you're Ryunosuke something or other, right? I can't remember any of their last names right now. And we just need to be okay with that.
That's okay. We'll just
and
remember
Ryu-
the number of parts of the names.
Yep. And Ryu's like, yeah. And then Gaku's like, cool. The talent manager was gonna come pick you up, but I wanted to do it instead. Come with me.
And so Ryu follows the strange boy.
Wait. Before that, we get a shot of the two of them standing next to each other, and god damn, Ryu is tall. He's got like 3 or 4 inches on Gaku, and I'm like, we love a tall boy.
Yeah, you gotta get those clamp legs.
I love him.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry. So he walks off with Gaku, and we hear that the third member of their future group is some child prodigy, and Gaku's like, he's probably a little bitch potato, so I'm gonna go take a look at him myself, and if I don't like him, I'm out.
Yeah, give him my 2 cents.
Which is very Gaku.
It's very Gaku. I really enjoy Gaku.
I know you do. It's very good.
So they go into the same bar as the beginning of the episode. So past version of Empty Bar. And
That looks exactly the same so that they could reuse the backgrounds.
Exactly. And 10 is there.
And he's like emo boy sitting in a chair wrong facing the wall.
Oh, yeah.
And then when they walk in, he turns around and there's like sparkles and Ryu goes like, oh my god, he's an angel.
Angel. Actually, he says Tenshi, which is funny because 10.
Yeah, because 10. I mean, that's the joke,
That's
isn't
the
it?
joke. It's great. So there's 10 for all of us.
And Gaku's like, you look like a little bitch.
And then Ryu's like, you look like a little bitch.
No, 10's like, you look like a little
No,
bitch.
or they're both like, oh, not Ryu, right? Gaku.
Not Ryu, he's a good boy.
Gaku and 10 have this rivalry. Ryu is like, nobody's a bitch here. Everyone's so beautiful. I'm gonna cry.
He's like, I love you so much, please stop fighting. I don't like conflict. He's such a good boy.
But yeah, Gaku's all like, oh, you're just like this child prodigy. You've never worked hard for anything in your life. And then 10's like, hey, you're the child of the president of this company. You've never worked hard for anything in your life. And then they're like, grr.
And then Ryu's like, let's just be friends, please. And then he just kind of breaks it up with his awkwardness of he doesn't know how to break up this fight without using his Okinawa accent. And so he's just like really, really trying really hard and he can't do it. So then he's like, I have an idea, let's drink.
Yeah, and then 10's like, I'm underage.
And then he's like, it's like, okay, you get apple juice and then we'll have a dance off.
And then they have a dance off.
And then they have a dance off and it's very good.
It's so good. So they're like, we're gonna dance and drink, and then they dance, and then like they're doing their own separate like improv thing, and they end up in sync, and they're like, oh, we're so great together.
It's like, okay, so we're doing this.
Yeah.
It's what happens there.
They bonded over the power of dance.
The power of dance and the power of alcohol for 2 of 3 of them.
Yeah, you know, they had to say that just to get past censors.
Yep. But yeah, so basically they accept 10 as their center. He gets blushy, and then they high five, and we smash cut to them as Trigger on stage. And then we see like some little shots of the I-7 boys, like existing in their natural environments, and you see like Trigger ads in the background, and it's like, oh, there they are. This is how it starts.
Yeah.
Duh.
Because in the anime, Trigger had already been a band for like a year, and they had won the Jaima Awards and whatever already.
Yeah. Again, if you have not listened to the first IDOLiSH7 episode that we did, you should. If you haven't, and you've made it this far in this episode, go back and listen to it, because you are gonna. It is required listening for this episode.
Also, we're saying all these names, and you don't know who they are, so
yeah, we're not gonna bother reintroducing the characters.
You have to know the colors of the rainbow they are associated with to really understand.
Rainbow boys. Oh, Sarah, though, I would actually like to clarify something with you.
Ooh.
Because this has been bothering me since the first thing.
Yes.
What is Gaku's image color? Is it black or white?
Oh, I don't know.
Because all his outfits are like black, but he has white hair, and when they're on stage, the pen lights are white.
Maybe it is white.
So I think he has the same problem as my darling angel Makoto Idolmaster, where you can't have a black pen light. I've seen in the games, occasionally they use like a dark blue for her, but then sometimes they use white. And I'm wondering if Gaku's is the same thing. Is his image color white? Or is his image color black? Because the shirt he wears in the last episode where everyone's wearing their image color shirt, he's wearing a black shirt. But all of his glow lights are white. And what I'm trying to get to is, if his image color is white, then Trigger says trans rights.
Heck yeah!
Because it's pink and blue and white, so you know.
So it has to be the canon. We've established this now. It doesn't matter.
Yep.
Incredible.
That's what I'm sticking with.
Sold.
Episode 2.
Yeah, which is part 2 of episode 1. So we're still on the Trigger Boys.
Yep. So just assume that these are like 2 episode mini arcs each one.
Yes.
So like 1 and 2 go together, 3 and 4, 5 and 6, 7 and 8.
Yeah.
Okay, so episode 2.
So it is slightly in the future, not all the way in the future, not dive bar hangout future, but not dive bar hangout past. A different middle part of a dive bar. And
the dive bar timeline is very important.
The very opening scene is like confusing because it's like Gaku and Ten arguing about a performance, and you're like, oh, what's going on? What's gonna happen?
Yeah, they very much drop you in media res into this scene, and Gaku and Ten are in the middle of a fight. Ryu's being like, no, why are you like this?
Yeah, so we're gonna figure out why they're upset about something, probably. Meanwhile, they're doing good. They have performances. Ryu's been getting commercials.
I love it so much. So his whole thing is that he's always in these commercials that are like extremely sexy. He never has a shirt on. The one in this episode is he's in a shower with a fully clothed. He's fully clothed, but it's like a wet t-shirt contest type of thing. He's got like a white shirt on, and you like his shirt's all wet, and so you can see his skin underneath his clothes. I'm sure it's very titillating for those who are into that. And he's got like a lady in his arms, and he's holding up a bottle of shampoo, and you can see like all his muscles, and he's like, sexy shampoo, TM.
And like every single ad, because also in the original anime we saw that he was in a completely different sexy ad, so like he's being typecast as sexy commercial guy.
Because he's got a 12-pack, yes. And so immediately after the commercial, you see like a newscaster talking about, and then that was Ryunosuke, I can't remember his last name, the what did they call him? Like sexy celebrity playboy.
Yeah.
And who's like has a hotel magnate for a father. He's very famous. He's very sexy. And Ryu's like watching this in a hotel room. He's like, I'm not that sexy.
No. And also this was just a cover story. My dad's just a fisherman.
Yeah.
And then there's also a scene where Ryu's like, oh, I'm not a womanizer. I gotta talk to one to understand what they want. And he goes up to Gaku and he's like, oh, you're a womanizer. And the Gaku's like, what's a woman?
I've never seen one before.
Never seen one before. I've never kissed a girl. What do you mean?
But yeah, so he goes up to Gaku and he's like, Gaku, you're a womanizer. Tell me what they're like. And Gaku's like, no, I'm fucking not.
I work in a shop. A wink. A soba shop.
So he's like, the reason that Ryu thinks this is because apparently Gaku disappears like immediately after work every single day. And Gaku says, well, that's because I go work at my grandpa's soba shop. He's getting old. But I like working there because it's fun, but my dad hates it because he's a butt potato.
So yeah, everyone's all like, wow, look at these sexy Trigger boys. And Trigger's like, what's that? And I love
What's
them.
that?
What's that?
Because you've got underage 10 who is just there.
He's just emo boy.
He's just kind of emo, asymmetrical hair. And then you've got Gaku, what's a woman, and Ryu, I get stage fright person. That you don't get that.
And then
joke
again,
yet, but...
all of their songs are so sensual. It's just
so
great.
like extremely sexual, but then in real life they're just like, sup?
I love them.
I don't get it.
I want to.
It's like, I don't know what these song lyrics mean, but we didn't write it, so I don't know.
We're talking about pulling a trigger, so it's just like obviously straight up a gun trigger, right? We're not talking about pulling a trigger.
Definitely.
I love them. I love them so much.
They're just a trio of dinguses.
Dinguses.
I mean this with love. I would like to personally go back in time and give my past self just like the fiercest noogie for like joking that Trigger was not important. They're the best.
They're so good. I love them.
God damn it. I love them so much.
They're so good. So while all of this is going on, you also find out that the Jaima Awards are going on soon. So this is the one that was like the big deal in IDOLiSH7's plotline. Now it's Trigger's first year, and they are up for the New Artist Award.
Yep. And so they're a favorite to win the Jaima Award apparently, but they still have to keep pushing because, again, if you remember last time, it's a vote on your phones contest, and it's going to be harder for them to win because they're the newcomers. And so Evil President...
Gaku's dad, Evil President, Gaku with cheekbones, comes up to them and pitches the idea. It's like, okay, so we're going to have you boys join into a charity concert. 5 years ago, there was some sort of I think they said it was a factory explosion. Something like that, yeah.
There was a fire, something really bad happened, and it forced the closure of a nearby school. And this year is the 5-year anniversary. And then he gets real shady and he's like, it's perfect timing.
Which,
yuck,
again,
yuck.
So suspicious. This evil man.
Yep. And so all the boys immediately catch on. They're like, you're just using this act of charity as a way to, boost our popularity. That's shady as fuck, old man. And Evil President's like, you'll do what you're told, boy.
Yeah.
Nah.
So they end up having their trigger themselves. They have their little argument where Gaku's like, we can't do this concert. And Ten's like, well, maybe it'll actually help people. And then Gaku's like, if you do this concert, I'm going to quit if we don't really feel it. Beginning of the episode.
Yeah, and so they're fighting. And then they both kind of turn to Ryu. And they're like, what do you think we should do? And they're like, oh, wait. They're depending on me to make this decision. I am an important part of this group.
Even though the two pretty silver hair boys are fighting, I have a say too.
I have a say too. I am also a member. And so he says his thing is like, Ten's the center, Gaku is the leader, but I'm the oldest, so I have to take care of my family. He calls them his family. He's so good. A good boy.
Oh, my heart.
But yeah, so basically they all end up storming into the office. It is like, hey, evil boss man, we're not going to do the charity concert because we can't do it if our heart's not in it. Also, there are 2 more characters there who I assume are important, but we haven't seen much of them. The characters are, I believe their names are Momo and Yuki. We saw
idols.
them for approximately 4 seconds in the first anime. They are members of a rival group called Revale, which I believe is in the mobile game.
Oh.
And so they just haven't been in the anime much. This was the first time they actually had speaking lines in the anime, and so I'm sure everybody was nuts about that. I'm excited to see more of them because they seem mysterious, and one of them has really weird hair.
Yeah, it's very exciting.
And fangs?
Yep.
Who is this boy?
They look very anime.
They look extremely anime, and I love them already, but I know nothing about them. I'm like, what's up with your hair, boy? Mm-hmm. Anyway, so when they hear this, Revale is also going to be in that charity concert. And so you assume they're here to talk about that. And then the anime-looking one, Momo, is like, oh, don't you guys know that this isn't Evil President being evil? And then Evil President's like, I used to go to the school that got shut down. And then all the Trigger boys are like, wait, so you're not just being an evil douchebag like all the other times you've been an evil douchebag?
But, I mean, honestly, he probably was being an evil douchebag. It's
There's
just a really good excuse.
At least 50% evil douchebag given his track record in the rest of the anime.
But, yeah, so then they're like, okay, well, that's all right. We're embarrassed, but it'll be okay. We'll do the concert.
The pacing in this episode is just a little bit weird. There's just a lot going on.
Yes.
It makes sense if you sit down and watch it, but it's difficult to explain.
Yeah, because there's a lot of long conversations we're summarizing quick words.
Yeah. But basically, so then, the one other important thing is that they had to face off against Revale in the Jaima Awards that year.
Yeah.
Or the Black or White Fest thing. And so that's where they come in.
Yeah, so it's Trigger's arc that happened all before IDOLiSH7 boys.
Yep, the secret arc.
Secret.
But yeah, so then we skip back to the present day, and the boys are in the bar, the Trigger boys are in the bar, and then suddenly all the i7 boys appear.
Yeah, 7 idols walk into a bar. There are 3 more idols there.
Yep. And so they invited i7 to hang out with them during their 2nd anniversary, like, abandoned bar party, and it's very wholesome.
It's
they
so
all
good.
We get, like, little scenes of them just kind of hanging out and interacting. It's extremely good.
Yeah. Sumugi's there. I love her too.
Yeah, she's the designated driver, which is very good. Thanks for drinking responsibly, boys.
But also, remember her trying to drive everyone before, so...
Yes, I'm sure
I'm turning this car around.
I'm turning this car around. We're not even in the car yet, but I'm turning it around. But yeah, so at some point during this party, 10 leaves to be emo in the street.
Yes.
And Riku follows him, is like, where are you going? Don't you want to hang out? And 10's like, no.
I need to be my own person, and you need to be your own person. I don't want to talk to you anymore.
And he's like, I'll surpass 0 and becomes a legend. Yep. And then I wrote in my note, he's still being a butt even after everything that happened. Okay, 10, whatever. Be a child somewhere else.
And he walks off into the snow.
But not before he apparently left a napkin at the bar where he wrote in English, treasure you all. And I'm like, can they read that?
They're like, okay, let me take out my translate app on my phone.
Yep. It's like, oh, damn it, his handwriting's too messy. What's that letter? T... R.
No. Nagi was there. He'd be okay.
Nagi was there. He'd
Treasure you all.
Speaking of Nagi,
let's go on to
episode 3.
Incredible. This is the most anime bullshit. Like,
oh my! Anime bullshit is a very good way to put it.
Yes, it's wonderful. So this episode does not focus on Trigger at all. I think at most they even show up in the side scene. I don't
Not
think so.
really.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
So this...
Well, okay, 10's in the very beginning because Riku's having a dream sequence where he dreams that his brother acknowledges him, and then he wakes up.
Yes. But, and then he, like, kind of spends the rest of the episode trying to defend to people that he's not going to leave IDOLiSH7, but they don't know what's going on. So it's, like, a tiny running joke.
Yeah. But... It's very silly, and it's not really important to the overall plot, because the overall plot does not focus on him at all.
No.
We have a trio of episodes. We have Nagi, Tamaki, and Yamato are our trio for this episode.
Yes. And they are all, like, all of IDOLiSH7 that day. Their plan is they're going to go and watch Triggers live.
Yep, they're going to go watch another Trigger concert. And I just love that these boys are fans of the other boys.
I know.
It's very wholesome.
It's so wholesome. Mm-hmm. So... the ones it doesn't center around. So Iori and Riku are still back at the house. Iori woke Riku up because Riku stayed up late and it's a good ship. You know. As
welcome
you do.
Welcome to Sarah's shipping corner.
Da, da,
a podcast within a podcast.
The podcast
our new
within a podcast.
Our podcast segment.
Sarah's shipping corner. It's a good ship.
Sarah's shipping corner.
It's a good ship. We all know it. Even in canon, there's a fan site for them. So.
Oh, I keep forgetting about that, and it's not just something that you made up.
No, it's great.
Anyway, so the rest of the boys make it to the Trigger show, and they're like, it doesn't start for another 5 hours, but we're here, and we're gonna go get merch, and it's gonna be great.
And that's just Mitsuki and Sogo, right?
Mitsuki and Sogo are there, yeah.
Yeah.
I love that Sogo is apparently a Gaku fan because white-haired boys have to stan each other.
Oh, yeah. Henry Fire Emblem, by the way. Sogo.
Yep. But yeah, so they're all hanging out, but the 3 problem children, so Nagi and Tamaki, and then their mom, Yamato, the responsible one of this trio, are like, there's still 5 hours left until the concert. Let's go get something to eat. And Nagi's like, we should go to that tower and see if there's lunch in there. Not because I have any ulterior motives or anything, wink.
Wink.
And you find out that Tamaki, with his magical girl waifu obsession, there is a collaborative event happening in this tower, and he wants to go buy all the manga, and he's got this giant duffel bag on his back, and I'm like, boy, how much are you gonna go buy? But also relatable, because I definitely did this.
There you go. So big old duffel bag full of things. This is important for this episode.
Yes, you have to remember he's got a big black duffel bag on his back at almost all times. This
full
is
of coconut merch.
Yep, full of manga. You never actually see the inside, but it's just full of books. And I'm like, this boy must be ripped if he is carrying that around. He's going to get back problems.
Idols are good at sports.
Idols are good at sports and lifting heavy objects, apparently.
Mm-hmm. Weightlifting is his sport.
Yep, but anyway, while he wanders off by himself to go buy this manga, the other two boys are like, we're gonna go get lunch. Come meet us back here when you're done. And so when Nagi runs off, he is spotted by some suspicious people.
Dun dun dun. And so, well, at some point there's also, like, some cut-ins of, like, this group of people who are, like, terrorists, and they're plotting, like, oh, do you have the weapon, blah, 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 we're gonna meet up at the exchange point.
They're in an abandoned building in the middle of downtown Tokyo. So, like, where is this, first of all? And they're like, we're gonna blow up the tower, we just have to get the bomb, and then this time the government will listen to us, we're obviously written to be the bad guys.
Yep.
And then we cut back to Nagi, and he's running around with his, like, bag of manga, and, like, some people, like, two people in suits see him, and they're like, is he the one we're after? I don't know, there's so many foreigners here, I can't tell if that's the actual one we're looking for. And at some point, Nagi goes and sits down on a bench, and then these two suspicious people are watching him, different people from the ones I just mentioned. And they're like, is that the guy we're looking for? He was supposed to just leave the bag under the bench. Why is he still there? And so these two suspicious dudes go up to Nagi and they hold a knife at him.
Yep.
And they're like, give us the bag. And then
and Nagi's like, you could have just asked and I would have shared my manga with you.
Yeah, and my favorite bit here is that, one, he's acting extremely suave and using that voice that made me go, oh, the first time in the original show. He's, like, acting like there is definitely not a knife pointed at him. He is acting like he is a fucking secret agent, which is now my headcanon.
Uh-huh. Yeah, no, probably.
Yeah, no, I mean, legit, though. Nagi's got something going on that he's not talking about.
Yep.
But yeah, and so my favorite part of the scene is that one of the muggers takes his phone and he's like, there are several photos, precious photos to me on that phone that I haven't backed up yet. Please take care with it. And the dude looks at his backdrop and it's a magical girl and he's like, what the fuck?
It's coconut. It's just a screenshot from the anime, which is like mood Nagi. You're not going to be able to find half of that fan art again.
No, certainly not. Well, see, Nagi's a good boy, and he always makes sure to credit the artist when he posts stuff online, and so he's got, like, a spreadsheet with all the pictures, and they're all credited and tagged appropriately.
But here's the problem. All the commissions he got that were emailed directly to him, he might not have access to those again.
Oh, no, Nagi!
Precious photos.
Nagi's, like, one of those, like, people you hear about where it's like, I am a doctor, I make tons of money and I spend all of it on commissioned furry fan art. He's that, but he spends all his idol money on commissions of his magical girlfriend.
He keeps the industry alive and we appreciate him.
Yep. We love one nerd. We love several nerds, but we especially love Nagi for this reason.
So after being confronted with the knife, the guys are like, the terrorists, they're like super frustrated, and then Nagi's like, why don't we move to a different location because there's all these people here and you're gonna upset them.
Yeah, so Nagi's like, let's go into an alleyway where no one will see me getting mugged. And they're like, okay.
So Nagi in the dark alley, like, they're there and he's like, is this related to what's going on in North Maria? And the guys are like, what's North Maria?
What are you talking about?
What are you talking about? Oh, wait, I might have heard about you guys. Dut, dut. And then Nagi realizes that they, the whole plot and starts beating them up.
The whole plot being, we do get, like, another insert scene here of the actual person that they were supposed to meet with, who is speaking English the entire time, and they still subtitle it. Very good. Mm-hmm. Where the dude goes, he sits down on a bench, he pushes the bag underneath the bench, and then he walks away, and you find out that that bag has a bomb in it.
And it looks identical to Nagi's bag.
Pretty much identical, yeah. And so Nagi's like, oh, there's a bomb in the other bag that you thought was my bag that looks exactly like this one? Joke's on you, motherfuckers! And then he kicks their ass.
Yep. He gets his phone back. Important. Mm-hmm. It's very important. He says, you're safe, my angel. I remember that part. It's very, very important. He got his phone back.
Very important. Yep. Meanwhile,
the other two.
the other two, Tamaki and Yamato, are like, where'd Nagi go? Oh, hey, isn't that his backpack? We should grab it and then take it back to him and find out where he went. So now the other boys have the bomb.
Tamaki's holding it specifically.
Yeah, and he's just like, and there's a line here that's very writer, where it's like, Yamato says, just be careful with that bag. People are gonna think you're carrying a bomb or something because it's so big. And Tommy's like, you nerd, I would never carry a bomb around.
Yup.
And he's actually carrying a bomb around. And then the episode ends.
Yeah, so part 2.
Part 2, episode 4.
So basically right away, the government agents who have been tracking down these terrorists, because yes, they also exist in this episode, they see Tamaki from a distance with the bag, and they're like, yo, I think we found the bomb.
He's like, yo, that's it. Well, no, because what happens first is they find the actual, like, the Nagi lookalike,
right?
And they catch him, and they're like, okay, we found the carrier. Now we just need to find the bag. I sure hope a civilian didn't find it. Oh shit, there's a civilian with the bag right there across this busy roadway.
And apparently the bomb inside the bag is activated by being a distance from this tower they went to.
Which doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
But sure, for the plot.
You think about it, if you're trying to blow up the tower, you would want it to not blow up until you got inside the tower. But they are still a distance away from the tower. Yep. So, like, what was the plan here?
Little shoddy on your plans, terrorists.
Yeah, anyway, so there are a lot of shenanigans here where the government agents are screaming at the boys from across this busy street, being like, don't make any sudden moves, there's a bomb in your backpack! And then Tamaki's like, oh, they must be fans, you think I should dance for them? Ha-cha-cha-cha-cha-cha!
And then it's like, oh, you know what? I think they want me to do a backflip. Don't they want
do you think they want me to do a flip? And Yamato's like, stay here, I'm gonna go be a sensible one and cross this bridge and then go talk to them. And then the government agents are like, there's a bomb in his backpack! And Tamaki's like, should I do a flip now? And Yamato's like, don't do a flip!
Yep. At some point, Nagi shows up too, and he's all like, okay, I took out all the bad guys. And so I guess the general plan at some point is that Tamaki is going to walk with the government agents to defuse the bomb.
Yeah, they're going, because right now he is inside the bomb's detonation range, and they're like, any sudden movements could detonate the bomb. And meanwhile, Tamaki is just like, I'm bored!
Yeah.
And so then he's suddenly surrounded by, like, bomb squad agents who are all, like, aiming at him, and he's like, should I do a flip?
Yup.
I'm like, Tamaki!
Help, it's
dumbass!
But, so Nagi and Yamato are, like, not go hang out with them because Nagi's like, so my plan is maybe I'll be able to distract the other terrorists because they might think that I'm the drop-off guy.
Mm-hmm.
Which apparently is true because then there's a sight line on him.
Yeah, they try to snipe Nagi, and then he sees the laser sight and jumps out of the way, and he gets shot at, and somehow, like, no one else is panicking during this sequence.
So Yamato and one of the agents start chasing the sniper.
Yeah.
Along with Nagi. Nagi runs a separate direction. Yamato and the agents in one direction. There's a scene where, like, Nagi, like, dodges a bullet.
Yeah, it's, again, very anime nonsense, and I would like to point out that at some point in this scene, the two boys are running next to each other, and Yamato's like, how do you know how to deal with situations like this? And Nagi says, I read too much manga!
It's
and I'm
true.
like, you know, that tracks.
He was like,
I believe you.
I did special training and I was motivated because I wanted to be like magical girl Coconut. And you're like, okay, this is fair.
It's like, yeah, that, you know what, that tracks with you.
I'm not gonna lie, yesterday I was running and I was about to give up and I was like imagining my little tiny Lalafell in Final Fantasy 14 running and I was like, okay, I can keep going just like her. I'm not even joking.
Sarah.
Not even joking.
Sarah, are you Nagi?
I mean, was there ever a doubt? I'm half Japanese. Check.
You're blonde.
I'm a black belt.
Oh my god.
Maybe I'm Nagi.
You are Nagi.
I'm Nagi?
Your spirit... Sarah, he's your spirit anime.
No, I'm Nagi, who is also... What did we decide? Nagi's Mari's brother or something?
Cousins.
Yes, I'm part of that family.
I see.
Me, Nagi, Mari, and Kenta.
Sarah.
If we're gonna keep bringing up my imaginary brother, it doesn't matter.
At least you acknowledge that he is imaginary. I'm glad for this, at least, so we don't have to re-explain this joke. So basically, they catch the bad guys, and they're good. It's a lot of anime nonsense.
Yep.
Basically, if you can dream it, that's what happens in this episode.
Yep.
Yamato uses his acting to distract one of the bad guys with a gun.
Oh yeah, that was great. He's all like, "Oh, I can't do it. I'm so scared." And you're like, Yamato's
and he
an actor.
grabs his grabs the bad guy's collar. He's like, "I'm so fucking scared. Please don't shoot me." And then he grabs the gun away from him. He's like, "Ha, acting, bitches."
Incredible. Absolutely incredible. And they make it to the Trigger concert barely in time.
Barely in time. It's like they had 5 hours and they used all of it on this thing. However, there's one more thing I would like to mention. When they are trying to take out the bad guys, Tamaki just absolutely fucking destroys a dude by throwing his bag of manga frontwise over his shoulders and onto the back of the dude's head.
Incredible.
And I'm like, he's dead now.
Yep.
He's just dead now.
Hundreds of pounds of books on his head.
Just goodbye.
Rip.
Sleep well, motherfucker.
Nagi has killed at least one man.
That's going on your tombstone. Killed by a magical girl.
I mean, I don't think Nagi would complain about that.
No, certainly not. He, seriously, he's like, "God, Kokona, please forgive me for what I am about to do."
I have the power of God and anime on my side.
I really do. Sarah, no, this needs to be a meme now. Nagi, I have the power of God and anime on my side.
Yep.
That's him now.
That's him.
That's him. Oh my god, I think I just legitimately got a little lightheaded thinking about how well that works.
It really does. Incredible.
Anyway, so yeah, this episode was a lot, but it was just anime bullshit shenanigans that they might not have been able to get away with in the actual series.
Yes, it was pretty cute. Episodes 5 and 6 are the slice of life episodes.
Yes, I'm like, oh boy, this is Sarah's theme.
It's my thing. We're on IDOLiSH7 again, and all the boys are at their, the idol dorm, and they're chilling, and then Nagi's like, "Hey, we've been so busy, but all of our schedules are free tomorrow. We should do, something amazing for our day off."
And he's, really persistent about this. He's like, "You guys, tomorrow we are off." And he keeps saying it in English.
"We have to do something, or else I'm gonna explode.
I'm gonna die if we don't hang out."
But then, kind of everyone else is like, yeah, we'll do something. Very non-committal. And then Iori's like, "Hey, yeah, me and Tamaki have school because it's, Wednesday."
Yeah, and they're still technically schoolboys, and so on their days off, they have to go to school, which must suck.
Right? And Tamaki's younger, too. I think Iori's, 17 or something, so he's almost done. But Tamaki's, 16, right?
Well, I mean, they're in the same class.
Oh, they are, that's true.
Tamaki sits behind him.
That's right, so
hopefully... And he pulls the Mari move of he draws eyes over his eyelids so it looks like he's awake, but it totally doesn't.
It's a great idea. What if they went to whatever school Mari took over after they merged?
Oh no.
What if I'm headcanoning this now? Because that one could have been mixed gender.
IDOLuminati.
IDOLuminati.
Everything is confirmed.
I'm just saying, if the president is Mari, I don't think if he goes to the principal's office, they'd mind that much.
No. He'd be like, "Oh, you're my cousin's idol friend?"
It's fine.
It's fine. Whatever. Here, you want some candy?
Yeah, there's also just little, it's so slice of life. There's little cute things. You find that Mitsuki cooks their bento every day for school.
I know, it's so cute. And okay, we have to talk about the bento though.
Yeah. Oh my god, you go start.
Okay, yeah. So the boys so Mitsuki makes both of them boxed lunches in the morning because he's their mom almost. It's very cute. He's like, "Here, boys, take your lunch." And so when it's lunchtime, the school boys are there, and Iori kind of pops this open. He sees what's inside. He slams the lid back down on it really fast, and he clenches his fist. He's just like, "Fuck yes." My brother put the good shit in this bento box, and then behind him, Tamaki opens it up, and he's like, "Oh, dude, shit, there's little rabbits in here," because Mitsuki like made little rabbit-looking. I'm not even sure what type of food they are, but just like these little sweets or something. And Iori's like, there's a name, and I did not write it down.
But they're like characters.
He's like, they're Usamin friends.
Usamin friends.
You plebeian.
You plebe. Well, I think that Tamaki got king pudding. Like, I think they were customized. Like, I think Tamaki got the king pudding guy, and then Iori got Usamin friends. So they were like, special like, for each of them.
Very, very good. Mitsuki is best mom.
Yes, best mom. But meanwhile, like back at home, they still haven't figured out what they're gonna do. So Nagi hasn't woken up yet. Everyone else is just lounging. Yamato decided that it's his day off, so he's gonna get day drunk.
And night drunk too, apparently, because he was drinking all night. And I'm like, this boy might have a problem, actually.
Yeah, that's a lot of alcohol. Like, a lot.
Like, because you wake up in the morning and he's got like 10 empty cans of beer next to him, and he's still drinking that morning. And I'm like, okay, there's a line here, boy.
Yeah, not very healthy. So
no,
he's day drunk, and then I guess what happened in this episode versus the next episode? I'm trying to think of order of operations.
Yeah, so Nagi overslept. They go to wake him up, or he wakes himself up, and he gets upset that they didn't wake him up. But the boys are already at school, and so he's upset, and he's like, I wanted to do something fun today, and now we can't because it's too late. And so they're like, well, since the younger boys are at school, let's dress up like parents and spy on them at school. And Mitsuki's like, no, we're not going to do that.
Yeah, that's a very bad idea. Good call, Mitsuki.
It's an extremely bad idea.
Yeah.
So Riku and Mitsuki decide to just go practice, and Nagi ends up going with them. We see Sogo, who's outside gardening.
Yep. Sogo's just doing chores all day.
He's just doing chores all day. He's a very good boy.
Yup.
But yeah, he's just like outside in his little sun hat digging around in the weeds, and everyone's like, oh shit, is that Sogo? I thought you were the maintenance guy.
Yup. Wonderful.
And Sogo's like, I am the maintenance guy.
I don't trust anyone else to take care of these plants.
These are my plants, damn it.
When the other three, though, Riku, Mitsuki, and Nagi get to the studio, they see like all the staff is there, and they're like, oh wow, they work even on all of our days off. They're working so hard.
And it's cute because like they talk to Samugi, and then they bring her lunch, and there's like this short little montage of what they're doing.
Yeah.
Before we skip to the credits.
Yeah. So part 2 of Slice of Life episode 6. This one opens with another Ryu commercial. I just wanted to point that out. Again,
just a very sexy. Very sexy beer ad, and Sogo and Yamato are at home watching, and they're like, wow.
Yep. And
look at him go.
Yamato's just like, hey, Sogo, you're like doing laundry. Do you like ever do anything for fun ever? And then Sogo's like, what's fun? I don't know what fun means.
And then Yamato gets him to drink with him, so then they're both day drunk.
And Sogo, when he's drunk, is like, you know, normally he's like angry boy, and then when he's drunk, it's just like, I love everybody. So
yeah, and like they both turn literally magenta.
Yes, me when I drink anything. I don't need to get drunk. I just need to drink a little bit, and I'm magenta.
You're a chameleon.
I am a chameleon. I have really bad Asian flush. Really, really bad.
Secret chameleon syndrome.
Except it's the opposite because I go bright red.
But yeah, so we cut to the boys in school. This is the scene where we see their bento. Tamaki has a lot of snacks somehow. I think maybe people gave them to him or something, or he stole them. We're not entirely sure where we get these snacks from, but the point is he has a lot of them.
Yep.
Which is in character for him.
It's very important.
And then we skip to the boys who are training, and Nagi's doing crunches specifically because he's trying to get a 6-pack, and I'm like, stop making me love you.
Incredible.
We tried to do this in college by laughing for 24 hours straight, and it didn't work.
We gotta try again. If you guys want to get a six-pack, you just gotta listen to our podcast for 24 hours.
But no, brief aside, when we were freshmen in college, we being me, Sarah, and a bunch of our friends, we read like a Tumblr post or something that says that laughter is such a good workout that if you laugh for 24 hours straight, you'll get a six-pack. And we decided that we were going to try it right then and there on the floor of our friend's dorm. We lasted about 10 minutes before we had to stop because like we actually were about to hurt ourselves.
Yep, hyperventilating. Yep, lightheaded.
We could not breathe properly.
Incredible.
So that's the kind of shit that we got up to in college, and it's what Nagi is doing right now, which is fitting because they're about the age that we were in college.
Hey, it's true.
They're like late teens, early 20s,
You're
and I'm
right.
like, this is, I believe this. This is believable this is something he would be trying to do.
It all tracks. On the way back from school, Tamaki and Iori stop by an arcade because Tamaki sees like these coconut, like magical girl coconut, like plushies at the arcade. And they're like, we couldn't hang out with Nagi today, so why don't we try to win him a plushie?
And it's very, very wholesome because Tamaki's leading the charge at first, but then he runs out of money and they're really close to getting it. And then Iori starts playing it. He's like, I'm just finishing what you started. Let's get this thing.
When really,
let's get this bread.
What they should have done is what we did and just walk next door to the resale shop.
Yeah, when we were when Sarah and Athena visited me in Japan, we went to Tokyo for a few days, and we spent so much money trying to get, what was it? It was a Fate plushie, right?
Yeah, it was a Fate plushie.
There was a Fate plushie in one of the arcades in Akihabara, and we spent probably $50 trying to get this plushie, and like to the point where there were a bunch of people crowded around us, watching and screaming along with us every time we failed, and like the store employees were also there, and we were all just cursing in English and kind of laughing, and they were all watching and getting really invested. Eventually we ran out of money, walked approximately 12 feet to the left, and there was an anime resale shop that was selling the exact plushie for like $10.
Yeah, it was like $10. Incredible.
So that was the thing that happened.
And while this was happening, I was getting my Hanamaru, so just picture it.
Yep.
So then later on, they, like, after they're done with their sit-ups and stuff, they're like, why don't we just all have, like, a nice dinner together? And then they have a gyoza making party.
It's very, very wholesome, very good, very pure. Love these boys. They all put weird shit in their gyoza. Like, I think Riku makes one with red bean paste, which is...
so
like,
sweet.
So sweet, and like, but to be real, I would eat that because red bean paste is fucking great.
Sweet gyoza feels weird to me.
I mean, maybe not in gyoza, but like, I would try it for the experience.
That's true. Put it in dough and fry it.
Yeah, and then Sogo put like super flaming red hot sauce on his.
Yup.
And I'm like, oh god, these boys.
But
it's so pure though, because they take a bunch of pictures, and Nagi posts a bunch of pictures on not Twitter, like anime Twitter, and we skip to a scene of the Trigger boys in a car, and they're all looking at the pictures, and they're like, wow, it looks like they're having fun. And then Gaku gets a text from Yamato, and he's like, you want some gyoza?
And they're like, heck yeah, gyoza time.
And so the Trigger boys show up at their gyoza party, and then they're just hanging out and eating dinner together and partying. And Sarah, I want you to know, I am being 100% genuine and sincere here. When I said that this scene did make me cry, though.
They're so good. They're so happy. There's also, like, when Trigger shows up, so, like, Tsumugi and her dad, the president, are there. So Tsumugi answers the door, and the first thing Gaku's like is like, hey, I'm not the soba guy. And you're like, okay.
He's like, yeah,
sure.
I definitely believe you.
Definitely sure. And, yeah, there's also some things where, like, everyone's, like, some people are like, I want to eat Tsumugi's gyoza, and the president is like, I'm gonna eat, you want to eat my gyoza.
Well, no. So what it was, I think Nagi says something along the lines of, we made these with the love for our producer. And then her dad's like, I will also eat them then.
Yep. Defensive father. But yeah, they're just
Yep.
all so good and happy and goopy
They're
together.
all so good and cute, and there's so many just like weird little scenes of them, like it's like a short montage of just like little snapshots of them like drinking together and partying, and they're such good boys. I'm gonna cry again.
This is like the heart of why I love Slice of Life. It's just like the happy, like just being happy together as characters things, and it just makes me so happy.
They're so fucking cute. I'm gonna pass the fuck out. I'm gonna die.
Yeah.
I love them so much, Sarah.
So
Damn it.
So episode 7 and 8, the last two of Vibrato, I feel like are probably the more plotty heavy ones.
Mm-hmm.
So they kind of directly follow up the end of IDOLiSH7 season 1, I would say.
Yep. Because if you remember in IDOLiSH7 season 1, the debut song that I7 was going to do was that one like very summer themed song called Natsushiyose, did my way. It's a very good song.
Mm-hmm.
But the song Trigger's songwriter stole that song, and Trigger was able to debut it before IDOLiSH7 was, and so then it became a Trigger song without Trigger knowing, and then they found out and they felt really bad about it, and they just haven't done the song since.
Yes.
But it's sad because it's like, the song makes us sad, but it's a song about being happy, having a good time at the beach.
Yes. So at the beginning of episode 7, their other manager, I forgot his name.
Bonry is his name.
Yes, Bonry. He's watching the MV that never aired anywhere, like their forbidden MV for the summer song.
Forbidden MV!
Forbidden MV. And all the other guys walk in and they're like, oh, hey, it's that song that Trigger stole. Womp womp.
Mm-hmm. Womp womp.
And then they also reflect on the fact that, like, hey, Trigger stole it. And then, like, ever since, like, whatever time period they found out, they haven't sung it.
Mm-hmm. But then Tsumugi, their manager, and the president enter, and they're like, hey guys, we're gonna be performing at a summer beach resort music festival.
It's
so
called
get
Fire.
hyped.
It's called Fire Festival.
No. Oh no.
We got invited to this event called Fire Fest.
Yeah, it's on like this exclusive island.
And Jarul's there.
And Smash Mouth, or no, not Smash Mouth. Who was it?
Smash Mouth, but let's pretend it is. That's so much better.
It's not Smash Mouth.
No,
but
it
I
has
forget
to be.
who.
It's canon Smash Mouth now, and that's what I'm going with, Star.
IRL canon Smash Mouth was at Fire Festival. They were not. I am thinking of another band whose name I cannot remember now.
No, it was Smash Mouth.
Anyway.
Anyway.
So then they order lunch, and the soba guy, who's definitely not Gaku, goes to deliver their lunch, and he's there, and then who sees him? Is it Riku?
It's Riku, because of course it was Riku, because Gaku's like, I'm not Gaku, and then Riku's like, okay, because Riku is a good boy, and he trusts everyone.
Yep. Yeah, so Riku's like, oh my god, is that Gaku from Trigger? And then Gaku's like, no, I'm not that handsome. And then Riku's like, okay, I trust you implicitly, random stranger.
Yep. But Gaku overhears this, like, song playing, and then he gets sad.
Mm-hmm. And he's like, what's this song? And then Riku makes up the cover story of, oh, haha, that was us singing at karaoke. See, we really like that song, and so we pretended that we were Trigger, and you know. And Gaku's like, why do you guys have to make such lame excuses? And Riku's like, what's that, Soba guy?
Yep. And then Gaku's like, anyways, you didn't pay for the extra side, so...
It's like, I'm gonna go back to my soba home now. Anyway, so the next scene is Ryu and Nagi are just in a random hallway. I guess they're just at a job site somewhere. And turns out that Trigger is going to be in that same music festival. Firefest. It's not called Firefest, but we're gonna call it Firefest now. Yep. And then Nagi says, why don't you sing that song you took from us? And Ryu's like, cause it makes me feel real bad, cause we're all guilty about it. But then Nagi, of course, has very personal stakes in this because he was good friends with the person who wrote all of IDOLiSH7's music, and then he died, and that the friend did, not Nagi.
Maybe. We don't know.
Oh no.
Nagi 2.0.
Oh, welcome to Idol Halloween, Spooky Town. Conspiracy theory, Nagi actually dead.
It's really weird because halfway through this episode, Nagi is just like replaced by Mari from Love Live, but nobody acknowledges it. And she has a mustache for some reason.
Yeah, it's like the Sixth Sense where you pretend that he talks to other people, but in reality they're just talking to someone right behind him, and Nagi's actually been dead the whole time.
Dun dun.
Spoilers for the Sixth Sense, I guess.
Yeah.
It's a very old movie. I'm sure it's fine. I haven't even seen it, and I know that.
I forgot what we were talking about.
We're talking about Nagi and his
right.
songs. So basically, he's like, if you guys aren't going to sing the song, then you should give it back to us so we can sing it, because it's sad if the song that my friend worked on doesn't get to be sung. Mm-hmm. But then Mitsuki appears, and it's like, Nagi, stop being a butt. And then he says to Ryu, you should sing the song when you can enjoy singing it.
Yep.
And then we skip ahead to the Trigger Boys have submitted their ideal set list for the summer festival to Evil President, and the Stolen Summer song is on the list. Mm-hmm. And Evil President's like, we're not singing that.
And the boys are like, we need to do it to honor IDOLiSH7 because they work so hard and there's no way, like, they'd forgive us if we never, debuted what they stole, or we stole. They didn't steal anything.
Yeah, and then Ryu's like, it's shameful to just pretend that this whole thing didn't happen, but also our fans are gonna get suspicious if we go to a summer festival and don't sing the one song we have about summer.
Yeah, which, fair.
Yeah, and so the president still says no, and then Gaku gets mad and he storms off, because that's what he do.
Yeah.
Like always.
Also, the IDOLiSH7 boys are talking about the song too, and they're like asking Tsumugi, like, why can't we just like come out with it? And then Tsumugi's like, hey, it's more complicated than just like a song and like the 10 of you guys. There's like all the producers and the investors and everything that goes into all of these things behind the scenes.
Yeah, and then also like the audience who would be upset if they found out that Trigger stole the song. Even if it wasn't directly involved with the boys, it's still a shitty thing that happened. It's all very tangled, and honestly, I kind of like how this plays out, because like, yeah, that's real shit.
Yeah, it really, really sucks. And
it's not just black and white. It's not the music festa at the end of the year.
Black or white.
This is serious business.
So at that point, they are left with this whole, what will happen next?
Ooh. And then we hit the final episode. This is going to be like the shortest episode ever of our podcast.
Well, that just gives them more time to watch it. It's on YouTube, Bandai Namco account, official.
Yep, and if it's... the subtitles are, you have to turn on closed captions.
Yes, but they are there. They exist.
Mm-hmm. Very, very easy to watch.
Free and legal. At least in the United States. I am sorry, I don't know about other countries.
Nope. But yeah, so start of episode 8, and the I-7 boys arrive at the beach for the festival, and there's all these excited.
Yeah, there's all these, like, survival tents and sandwiches that are just cheese.
And they're like, oh god, we paid so much money for this, turn this bus around.
But there's not enough flights off the island.
Oh my god, and then everybody has to fight for their luggage, and
then the Tsukiyuda boys are there, and then the rabbits,
like
the rabbit steals their sandwiches.
The ultimate crossover event, Fire Festival.
It's true. Idol Fire Festival.
Anyway, so none of that actually happens.
Regrettably.
The one thing here that is cute is that Nagi's does not like the heat. And everyone's like, well, he is a Northern European boy. And Nagi's like, I want to be a penguin.
I know. Again, big mood, Nagi. I feel you.
Big mood. A good boy. He grew on me so much. I did a full 180 on Nagi over the course of this anime and the actual anime.
He kick-punched his way into your heart.
With his just enormous duffel bag filled with anime.
Yes, absolutely.
I love him. He's a dingus. I love him with my whole heart. Anyway, so we skip to a reprise of what happened the last time the boys were at a beach hotel, and Ryu is there, and he is getting hit on again.
And yeah, like the girl's like, hey, you want to come up to my bedroom and sleep with me or something? And then Ryu's like, I'm not tired.
Well, no, well, yeah, he's like, I'm not tired, but then he's like, I have rehearsal tonight, so unfortunately I can't. And she's like, well, can't you perform under the sheets without rehearsal, winky face? And he's like, I get stage fright, and then he leaves. I made a point to write down what it actually was because I was so charmed.
It's just so
I'm like,
good.
oh my god, I love this boy.
They're so goofy. I love them so much.
I'm claiming him as my idol anime ace representation.
It's incredible.
Because he's a very good boy. And I love him personally.
I understand.
Mm.
So they see Ryu, and then it's the same thing like last time where Trigger and IDOLiSH7 are both there.
Everyone is here!
Everyone is here.
Smash Bros music.
Then Riku goes up to Trigger, and he's like, hey, so we all talked. And we saw that IDOL7 is right before Trigger, so here's the plan. We are going to announce that you guys are singing the song, and that way you guys won't get in trouble. And then you can actually sing the song.
Mm-hmm. And then Ten asks why, and Riku says, is like, well, Nagi is really sad if you guys aren't going to use that song because he was friends with the songwriter, so either you do it or we do it. And we're giving it to you.
There's also like a little scene where I know at least Yamato and Nagi are talking about Nagi's relationship to Haruki. And you get like a little more peek into Nagi's backstory, which I assume is going to be the overarching plot, the Haruki and Zero thing in whatever future seasons.
I assume we're going to get more of this in season 2.
Yes, hopefully. We'll see.
Hopefully. Although I will be real, I would not mind a third season of this
Oh my
show.
gosh, it's so good. I love it.
Because, I mean, freaking Udapri has, what, like 12 seasons now? Give me some more of these Idol 7
Give me more i7.
Give me my boys. Give me my boys. I want to make merch of them. I said that in the last episode, but I super do now.
I know, they're so good.
Good boys.
And then, so while Nagi and Yamato are talking, Trigger's manager walks in. And at some point, Nagi ends up talking to them about the song. And Nagi's like, hey, you need to inspire and take care of these boys' hearts. Not just their music, but like their hearts and their souls. You gotta take care of them. And you're like, oh, it's good.
It's very good.
Yes.
But yeah, so then we cut to the Trigger boys taking a long walk on the beach at night.
A long walk down a short pier.
No!
No, they don't die. It's fine. I love Trigger. Please don't kill them. I just wanted to be a pirate for a second.
Yar hard. Damn, Sarah. Sarah's going for that dark shit.
Going into the drink.
You know, I loved IDOLiSH7 Vibrato, but that last episode took a dark turn.
When they fell off the gangplank.
Into the waiting maw of an alligator who ate a stopwatch once, and, you know...
And then became an idol. Oh no, and then the stopwatch starts ticking, and then Cinderella Girls?
Oh, negai, she did Illuminati, the ultimate crossover event.
Incredible.
Oh boy, wow. I love how we have idols, and then a Peter Pan reference.
And then it went back around to idols.
Are here, and then we went back to idols somehow.
I was just like picturing the stopwatch shaking, and then the opening of Cinderella Girls. We're in.
Yep. Okay, so what I'm imagining is you see the crocodile down below, but then it opens its mouth, and then just all the idols go like, "Pachoo, we're also here!"
Yeah.
Anyway,
so they're walking down a pier.
No, they're just walking. They're not
walking
on a pier.
Okay.
They're on a boardwalk, if anything.
Okay.
Anyway, so they're just talking, and Gaku's like, I heard the IDOLiSH7 boys singing their version of Natsu Shiose, and they sound really happy, and I want to give it back because it makes all of us sad. But we all still like the song too, and they've insisted that we should have it because of all the stuff that's already happened previously, and it's very tied up in the red tape. Wait! I have an idea!
Dun dun dun.
Dun dun dun. So then we skip ahead, it's the next day, it's time for the concert. And immediately you find out that IDOLiSH7 and Trigger are actually switching places. So their original plan is not going to work because Trigger is going on before them.
Yeah, and like at first Riku's like, "Oh, they didn't do it," and then Iori's like, "Nah, Ten's too much like you. There's something going on here."
There's some scheming behind the scenes, methinks. But yeah, so then the Trigger Boys appear, and they're like, "Hello, we have appeared." And then Gaku like whispers something to Riku, and you don't hear what he says. And then they go up on stage and they sing the summer song.
Yeah, Natsuyoze.
Did it my way. And so they're up there singing the song, and the boys are like watching from off stage, and they're all happy, and Mitsuki starts crying because he's a sap like me, and I'm like, oh.
And it's
look
like
at him
very
go.
bittersweet. We're like, that was our song, but now they have it, and so it's like,
And it's like they're singing it with a smile finally. It's like, I'm happy, but aw, that was also our song. It's a lot of mixed bag of emotions here. But then
they finish singing their song, and the audience, encore,
encore, encore, encore. And then they're like, wow, really? We just finished our first song and you guys are already calling for an encore. Well, I guess we can do that. You know what that means. Hey, IDOLiSH7, you guys also like this song, right? Wink. Everybody who saw that Soundship performance earlier this year where they sang this song to cover our asses knows that these guys can also sing this song, so we're gonna bring them up on stage. And they're like, oh?
So now,
okay.
So now IDOL7 is doing the encore for Trigger, and so IDOL7 sings the song.
And then they call for an encore again.
Okay, to be fair, if this was like Trigger's top selling song and they have not sung it in concert for like a year, I kind of understand them being like, please sing this before you just stop singing it.
Yeah, basically, because if you think about it, it's been like, yeah, it has been almost exactly a year, because it's summer now, and they sang it like summer of last year.
So it's been a while since anyone's heard this song live, and it was like their top selling hit.
Yeah, but so now they do what I like to call the 10 guys version.
Yeah.
Because if you actually listen to the song, I have a playlist on Spotify that's just my idol playlist. And I have all 3 versions of the song on here. And so depending on who's singing it, there's a line in the song that goes something like, da-da-da-da-da, we are 7 guys if IDOLiSH7 is singing it, 3 guys if Trigger is singing it. But then when they all sing it together, they're like, we are the 10 guys!
10
and you're
guys!
Like, fuck yeah, you are!
I love that!
So they all sing it together for this last encore, and you get like the closing credits is them singing it together, and you get like little snapshots of them hanging out on stage, and they're having a good time, and it's very wholesome,
and this
very
is like
pure.
The first time that Riku and Ten are on stage together, which is
Oh,
like what
yeah,
Riku. It's what Riku
is.
wanted the whole time.
Good boys.
Good beans. So yeah,
Ooh.
Vibrato is amazing. Go watch it if you haven't.
Vibrato, I watched almost all of it just like last night.
Because it's not long. It's
about 4.5 episodes worth of content, because the last episode's a little longer.
Yeah, but
it's very good. It's very pure, very good for the soul, for the heart, for the mind, for the crops, for the boys.
and if for whatever reason you don't want to watch like 1 or 2 of these scenarios, they're not like connected. You don't have to watch one of them to understand the other.
If you just want to watch the boys like doing slice of life shenanigans, just watch 6 and 7 or 5 and 6. If you want to watch the Trigger Boys because you love them, episodes 1 and 2. If you want to watch some Bob Squad shenanigans, that's 3 and 4. And then if you want to find out what happened with that sad summer song that never really got a closure, 7 and 8 are the episodes for that one. And they're not connected, so you can just watch them separately.
So yeah, I love all 10 of my sons so much.
My 10 sons!
I'm
Damn
excited
it.
for when season 2 finally is able to finish production and air, because I can't wait to go over that.
Oh, well, that actually is what I was going to bring up. They announced that it's coming back finally.
Yay, good news!
Yeah, they put out a new trailer, like, it was a couple weeks ago, I think, from when we're recording this. This isn't going to go up for a couple weeks, but yeah. So they've announced it's finally coming back, and I think they're going to do, like, 3 episodes a month, like, every... The airing schedule is weird, but it makes sense because their production was royally fucked over by the universe existing. But yeah, so season 2, I think there's like 3 or 4 episodes out right now, but they've announced that they have finally are going to continue moving on. And I watched the trailer without subtitles last night, but I was still able to parse most of it. And it looks like there's more drama ahead, and I'm excited.
I am very excited.
I'm also excited to see more of my boys. Thank you, please.
More of our boys, more idol conspiracies. I'm so excited.
Yeah, so we'll probably we probably won't do an episode on the second season until it's finished, because that's kind of how we do. We like to sit down and review the entire show all at once. So once that is over, we're going to talk about our boys some more.
Yeah.
In the meantime, though,
it's October soon.
It's October soon. We have 3 Fridays in October that we are going to be posting new episodes. So what we're going to do is Sarah's going first, and she's going to tell me about a weird anime that she watched, and then I'm going to tell Sarah about a weird anime that I watched, and then for the last week, or the last Friday of October, we are coming together, and we are going to watch a show that, let's hint at it, we've been joking about a lot, and is appropriate for the season, and I'm very excited to actually finally rewatch the dang thing.
If you're familiar with idols or anime, you probably know what it is, because
you
October.
Probably know
you probably
what our
know.
spooky Halloween episode is going to be, but yeah.
But the first two, we like to call Cursed October.
Cursed Idol October.
Cursed Idol October. Please enjoy it with us.
Sarah's already watched her show, and I was going to also watch it, but then it took us so long to find it, and then it disappeared off the internet before I got a chance to watch it, so I get to bask, like all of you guys, bask in the background radiation of Sarah telling me about a very strange show.
Yes.
On a scale of 1 to fuck, how cursed is it?
I guess it depends on how you define cursed. Anime is a mistake. I think that one, that number. Mm-hmm.
Okay, yes. And I have already picked out the show that I'm going to watch for it. It is a show I did not know existed until about 2 weeks ago, and decided that I was going to dedicate my life to this show because it's so... Sarah, I've watched exactly 1 episode of it so far, and I'm like, I have to watch the rest of this.
I'm so excited.
Because I have to tell Sarah about this show.
What kind of cursed is this, Star? Just as a teaser.
So do you remember for the Psycho Boys episode where I had to go on a Google rabbit hole to learn about some Japanese history to understand some of the jokes? Mm-hmm. It's that. More of that. I'm gonna have to do, like, so much freaking research for this episode just to, like, contextualize some of the bullshit that's happening in it so I can tell you exactly how historically inaccurate it is.
So look forward to our Cursed October episodes coming at you
Cursed
in 2
October.
weeks. Or instantly if you are on the backlog.
If you're watching this as it comes out 2 weeks from now, if you are listening to it as a backlog, they may already be out. You should go listen to them. Da 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 da. Yes.
Yay.
But yeah, so in the meantime, if you are not already following us on social media, you should be. We are on Twitter and Instagram as @IDOLDaysPod. IDOLDAYSPOD on Twitter and Instagram. And you should follow us there because we're doing a lot of fun stuff. We post questions, we talk to you guys, we post videos. There's like, I found a figurine of an idol Cthulhu, which is very good, and I want that anime now.
And also, thank you for everyone who participated in Idol August. It was really fun.
Yeah!
We tracked the tag. It was really enjoyable.
Yeah, it was nice to, like, see everybody's stuff. At the time we're recording this, I'm missing the last few days, but it is now no longer August, and I'm like, oh, beans, I gotta go back and finish it.
Aw, beans. And if you want to see more information about us, we have kind of everything linked on our website, idoldays.card.co, idoldays.carrd.co, and that's with 2 R's.
Yep, so we've got links there to pretty much everywhere you can listen to our podcast. We also have, like, bios, and I've snuck in some Easter eggs in there. It's fun stuff, so you should go check it out.
Yeah.
All right, so this has been Idol Days. Thanks for listening.
We've been Lady. See you next... Wait, hold on.
We've been Manly?
We've been Manly.
Because this is a Idol episode.
Oh.
Natsushi Yose!
We're 10 guys!
10 guys!
See you next live.
Bye!
Bye!